You know, life has a way of pulling us in 100 different directions. Work, family, friends, commitments. We're always being asked to give a piece of ourselves to something or someone else. And while there's great value in contributing, in being there for others, there's also a price we pay when we don't take time to focus on ourselves. Many people go through life giving and giving, but they forget to replenish. And then one day, they look around and realize they've lost touch with themselves. They're running on empty. Let's get one thing clear. Focusing on yourself is not selfish. It's essential. It's necessary for your well-being, for your growth, for your happiness. If you're always pouring from your cup into others and never filling it back up, one day you'll find that cup empty. So if you've been waiting for permission to put yourself first, consider this it. It's time to focus on you. What does it mean to focus on yourself? It means taking an honest look at where you are, at what you want, at what you need. It means giving yourself the attention, the care, the time that you so freely give to others. And it begins with the decision to prioritize yourself, to say, I am worth the time, the effort, and the care. One of the first steps to focusing on yourself is getting clear about your values. Most people don't take the time to ask themselves what truly matters to them. They're so busy doing what they think they should be doing, following a path that society, family, or circumstances laid out for them, that they don't stop to consider if it aligns with who they really are. But if you don't know what you value, then you can't build a life that reflects those values. You end up living someone else's life, and that's a recipe for dissatisfaction. Take some time to reflect. Ask yourself, what's important to me? What do I care about? And be honest. Maybe you've spent years in a career that pays the bills but doesn't fulfill you. Maybe you've been putting everyone else's happiness before your own, thinking that it's the right thing to do. But now I'm asking you to consider yourself, because if you're not living according to your values, you'll always feel like something is missing, like there's a part of you that's unfulfilled. Once you're clear about your values, the next step is setting boundaries. Boundaries protect your time, your energy, your mental health. They're a way of saying, this is what I will accept, and this is what I will not. And the people who care about you, the ones who truly want what's best for you, will respect those boundaries. They'll understand that when you set limits, it's not because you're pushing them away, but because you're taking care of yourself. Some people struggle with setting boundaries because they feel guilty. They think that saying no is wrong, that they're letting someone down. But I'm telling you, if you're saying yes to everyone else, chances are you're saying no to yourself. And there's a cost to that. Each time you put yourself second, each time you let someone cross a line that shouldn't be crossed, you chip away at your self-respect, at your sense of peace. Boundaries are a form of self-respect, a way of protecting what matters to you. So don't be afraid to set them, and don't apologize for it. Focusing on yourself also means making time for things that nourish you. And I'm not just talking about the basics of self-care, though those are important. Yes, it's essential to get enough rest, to exercise, to eat well. But beyond that, I'm talking about doing things that feed your spirit. What brings you joy? What makes you feel alive? For some, it might be reading a good book, spending time in nature, or pursuing a hobby. For others, it might be travel, learning something new, or simply taking a quiet moment to reflect. These aren't luxuries. They're essential to your well-being. Life isn't meant to be all work and no play. If you're always on the go, always doing, you're missing the point. Take time to pause, to relax, to recharge. You'll find that when you take care of your own needs, you're better able to give to others. You'll have more energy, more patience, more joy. It's like the oxygen mask on a plane. You've got to put on your own mask first before you can help anyone else. Nourishing the mind is also essential. What you read, watch, listen to, these things shape you, whether you're aware of it or not. Surround yourself with ideas that challenge you, inspire you, push you to grow. If the conversations you're in are always negative or critical, they'll drain your energy. Focus on filling your mental space with positivity, with encouragement. Choose influences that make you feel alive, that light up your imagination and give you a sense of possibility. A powerful way to focus on yourself is to develop the habit of self-reflection. Take a few moments each day to check in with yourself. Ask, how am I feeling? What am I grateful for today? What did I accomplish? It's in these moments of reflection that you begin to understand yourself better. You gain insight into your own thoughts, your reactions, your patterns. You start to see areas where you're doing well and where you need growth. Taking responsibility for your life is also essential when focusing on yourself. Now, this can be a hard truth to accept because it's easy to fall into the trap of blaming others or circumstances for where we are. But when you shift the responsibility onto others, you give away your power. You're saying, I can't be happy because of them. But when you take full responsibility, you put the control back in your hands. You take ownership of your choices, of your happiness. And that is a powerful place to be. Sometimes people ask me, but what about others' expectations? What about their needs? And of course, it's good to care about others, to support them. But when you start focusing on yourself, you come to realize that you can't control others' expectations or needs. You can only control how you show up, the boundaries you set, and the decisions you make. It's not your job to live up to everyone else's expectations. Your job is to live up to your own. Focusing on yourself also involves embracing your own strengths and weaknesses. It's easy to focus on what we think we lack, to compare ourselves to others. But when you focus on yourself, you shift your attention to your own strengths, your own gifts. You see what makes you unique, what you bring to the world. And yes, you also see where you can improve, where you have room to grow. But it's no longer about measuring up to someone else's standard. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. And here's something vital to remember. Focusing on yourself is a journey, not a destination. It's a continual process of self-discovery, of growth, of learning. As you grow, your needs, your desires, your goals may change. And that's okay. Focusing on yourself means being willing to adapt, to evolve. It means checking in with yourself regularly to make sure you're still on the path that feels right for you. When you take the time to focus on yourself, something magical happens. You find that you're not only more centered, more at peace, you're also more capable of being there for others. You're able to give more freely, more fully, because you're giving from a place of wholeness. You're not giving because you feel obligated or depleted. You're giving because you have something genuine to offer. There's another element to focusing on yourself that people often overlook, and that's cultivating a sense of patience. Personal growth doesn't happen overnight. The progress you want, the changes you seek, they all take time. We live in a world that often demands instant results, but the truth is that meaningful, lasting change requires patience. Focusing on yourself means allowing yourself the time to grow, the grace to make mistakes, and the patience to keep going, even when progress seems slow. Think of it like planting a garden. You wouldn't expect seeds to bloom into flowers overnight. You water them, nurture them, give them sunlight, and trust the process. And eventually, in their own time, they grow. Your growth works the same way. Trust in your journey and don't rush it. Some of the best parts of life unfold slowly over time. And the patience you practice on your journey becomes part of your character, making you stronger, more resilient, and more understanding. And as you focus on yourself, remember to be kind to yourself. Far too often, people are their own harshest critics. They see their flaws, their mistakes, their shortcomings, and they dwell on them. But personal growth is not about perfection. It's about progress. Focusing on yourself means forgiving yourself for past mistakes, letting go of regret, and choosing to move forward. You wouldn't be hard on a friend who is trying to improve, so why be hard on yourself? Treat yourself with compassion, with understanding. Remind yourself that you're a work in progress, and that's okay. Focusing on yourself means embracing the journey, accepting the bumps along the way, and allowing yourself the freedom to learn and grow at your own pace. Self-compassion is a crucial part of self-focus because it gives you the space to be human, to be imperfect, and to keep going anyway. Building habits is another key component of focusing on yourself. Habits shape who we are. They're the small actions we take every day that accumulate into big results over time. When you focus on yourself, you're consciously choosing habits that serve you, that align with your values and goals. Maybe it's the habit of waking up early to have quiet time for yourself, or the habit of reading each day to expand your mind. Small habits build a strong foundation, and they help reinforce the commitment you've made to your own growth. Habits are powerful because they become automatic over time. They don't require constant willpower or motivation. When you build habits that support your well-being, they create momentum, making it easier to stay on the path of self-focus even when life gets busy. Start with just one small habit that aligns with who you want to become, and watch how it grows into something powerful over time. As you go deeper into focusing on yourself, you might find that you're called to make some difficult choices. Focusing on yourself means being willing to evaluate those parts of your life honestly and make changes where necessary. It can be hard to let go of people or situations that have been part of your life, but remember, you're making space for something better, something more aligned with your true self. At times, this process may feel lonely, but solitude can be a gift. When you take the time to be alone with your thoughts, without distractions, you gain clarity about who you are and what you want. Solitude allows you to connect with yourself on a deeper level, to hear your own voice, your own desires. Don't be afraid of spending time alone. Embrace it as a powerful tool for self-discovery. Use that time to dream, to plan, to envision the life you want to create. Another aspect of focusing on yourself is embracing lifelong learning. There's so much to learn in this world, so many skills to acquire, knowledge to gain, and experiences to have. When you focus on yourself, you commit to growing continually, to expanding your mind and your understanding. Lifelong learning keeps you curious, keeps you engaged with life. It's not about collecting degrees or formal education. It's about cultivating a mindset of growth, of discovery, of openness to new ideas. And don't forget to celebrate your wins along the way. Focusing on yourself isn't just about hard work. It's also about acknowledging your progress, no matter how small. Every time you make a choice that aligns with your values, every time you honor a boundary, every time you invest in your own growth, that's worth celebrating. Recognize your achievements. Let yourself feel proud. Celebrating your wins keeps you motivated and reminds you that the journey is worthwhile. At its core, focusing on yourself is about building a relationship with yourself. It's about learning to love, respect, and honor who you are. Just as you invest time and effort into relationships with others, you're investing in the relationship you have with yourself. You're learning to trust yourself, to listen to yourself, to believe in your own worth. And as that relationship grows, it becomes a source of strength, of confidence, of peace. In the end, focusing on yourself means you're making a commitment to live a life that feels true to you. You're choosing authenticity, integrity, and self-respect. You're choosing to become the person you were meant to be. And the beautiful thing is that as you do, you inspire others to do the same. You become an example of what's possible, of what it looks like to live fully, freely, and purposefully. It's time to give yourself the attention you deserve. Make the commitment today to focus on you. Your well-being, your happiness, and your life are worth it.